E.N.D here, day 2 for the spoilers of murders at Karlov Manor. Whoever thought that Rostani, the guild leader of Selesnya, was behind all these murders on Ravnica? Anyway, let's start. And I want to start with special guest, highly desirable cards that match the flavor of the plane or set they are included in. In this case, murders at Karlov Manor. All of them are reprints. Ghostly Prison, Fabricate, Show and Tell, Tragic Slip, Victimize, Gamble, Crashing Footfalls, Tireless Tracker, Drone in the Lock, and Field of the Dead. Repair of Bloodlines 3 entry black, quite heavy, 6/5, Vampire Assassin, Flying, Ward, sacrifice a creature. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Whenever a creature dies, even if you sacrifice a creature or one of your creatures is destroyed. Delny Streetwise Lookout 2 and 1 white 2/2. Creatures you control with power 2 or less can be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. If an ability of a creature you control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Voyagers of the Conclave 2, 1 red, 1 green and 1 white 5/5. Vigilance Trample Ward 3. Whenever it attacks, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of elves you control. Draw a card for each wolf you control. A commander perfect for any deck out there that wants to play elves and wolves. Melek Reforged Researcher 3, 1 blue and 1 red, ***. Its power and toughness are each equal to twice the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. The first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast. Tomic Wielder of Law for 1, 1 white and 1 black, 2/4. Affinity for Planeswalkers. Flying Vigilance. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or Planeswalkers you control, that opponent loses 3 life and you draw a card. Just 1 Planeswalker, and this will hit the battlefield for only 1 white and 1 black. Assassin's Trophy. Yes, Assassin's Trophy will be reprinted in Murders at Karlov Manor. For 1 black and 1 green. Instant. Destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. The strength of this card resides in the fact that you can destroy any target permanent, not only a creature. Assemble the players for 1 and 1 white enchantment. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast a creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. No witnesses for 2 and 2 white. Sorcery. Each player who controls the most creatures investigates, then destroy all creatures. A nice new board wipe. Pyrotechnic Performer for 1 and 1 red, 3/2. Disguise for 1 red. When it or another creature you control is turned face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. Steamcore Scholar for 2 and 1 blue, 2/2. Flying Vigilance. Enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an instant card, a sorcery card, or a creature card with flying. Sharp-Eyed Rookie for 1 and 1 green, 2/2. Vigilance. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's power, or its toughness is greater than Sharp-Eyed Rookie's toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on it and investigate. Homicide Investigator for 1 and 1 black, 2/2. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn. And if you don't know how to play Investigate or Clue tokens, I did a tutorial explaining this particular mechanic, how it works. Case of Distressed Skeleton for 1 and 1 black enchantment case. When this case enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 black skeleton creature token and suspect it. To solve it, you control no suspected skeletons. Solved. For 1 and 1 black. Sacrifice this case, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. More cases. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. For 1 black. When this case enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target creature that was dealt damage this turn. To solve it, 3 or more creature cards were put into graveyards from anywhere this turn. Solved. This case is a 4/4 Gorgon creature with Death Touch and lifelink in addition to its other types. Buried in the Garden, 2 1 green and 1 white enchantment aura. Enchant land enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent you don't control until it leaves the battlefield. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. Culvert Ambusher 3 and 2 green. 4/5 enters the battlefield or is turned face up. Target creature blocks this turn if able. Disguise 4 and 1 green. Undercity Eliminator 3 and 2 black 3/3 enters the battlefield. You may sacrifice an artifact or creature. When you do, exile target creature an opponent controls. Expose the culprit for 1 and 1 red. Instant, choose one or both. Turn target face down creature face up. Or exile any number of face up creatures you control with disguise in a face down pile. Shuffle that pile, then clock them. Crowl Whip Cracker for 1 black and 1 green. 3/2 reach enters the battlefield. Destroy target token an opponent controls. Long Goodbye for 1 and 1 black. Instant, the spell can't be countered. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Bye bye Liliana of the Veil. No More Lies for 1 white and 1 blue. Instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. If the spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Magnetic Snuffler 5/4/4 enters the battlefield. Return a target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to it. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Fairy Snoop for 1 and 1 blue and 1 black. 1/4 flying. Disguise for 1 and 2 hybrid mana between blue and black. When it stands face up, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Undercover Crocodile for 1 green and 1 blue. 5/5. When it deals combat damage to a player, investigate. Disguise for 3 and 2 hybrid mana between blue and green. Shade Informant 3, 1 black and 1 red. 4/2. When it dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. Disguise for 2 and 2 hybrid mana between black and red. Defenestrated Phantom 4 and 2 white. 4/3 flying. Disguise 4 and 1 white. Sanitation Automaton for 2, 2/1 enters the battlefield. Surveil 1. Public Thoroughfare land enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it until you tap an untap artifact or land you control. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. So that was the last card in this particular day 2 of the spoilers of Murders at Karlov Manor. Join me again tomorrow for more spoilers of this murder mystery themed set. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.